6 life lessons from Japanese minimalism you'll never forget. What if we told you that the secret to a happier, more peaceful life isn't about getting more stuff, but actually getting rid of it? Today, we're diving into Japanese minimalism and 6 powerful lessons that could completely transform how you think about living. Hey everyone! Have you ever walked into someone's home and immediately felt this sense of calm wash over you? Everything just feels right. Well, there's a good chance you were experiencing the magic of Japanese minimalism without even knowing it. Today, we're going to explore 6 incredible life lessons that come straight from this ancient Japanese philosophy. And trust us, once you hear these, you'll never look at your life the same way again. We're talking about concepts that have been quietly shaping Japanese culture for centuries, and now they're helping people all over the world find more joy with way less stuff. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's jump into this journey together. Because by the end of this video, you might just be ready to completely rethink what it means to live well. Lesson number 1. Less stuff, more space for what actually matters. Let's start with something that might sound obvious, but is actually revolutionary when you really think about it. Japanese minimalism teaches us that when we have fewer things around us, we create more space for the things that truly matter in our lives. Now, we're not talking about living in an empty white box here. We're talking about being really thoughtful about what we choose to keep in our space. Think about it this way. Every single item in your home is either adding value to your life or taking it away. There's really no middle ground. When we reduce the number of things we own, something amazing happens. We stop spending so much mental energy managing our stuff, and we can focus that energy on relationships, experiences, and personal growth instead. It's like clearing the clutter from your desk so you can actually focus on the important work in front of you. The Japanese have this beautiful concept where they believe that empty space isn't actually empty at all. It's full of possibility, peace, and potential. When we apply this to our homes and our lives, we start to see that having fewer possessions doesn't mean we're missing out on anything. Instead, we're making room for the things that can't be bought or stored in a closet. Research shows that people who live in cluttered spaces have higher levels of the stress hormone cortisol throughout the day. But when we simplify our surroundings, our minds naturally become calmer and more focused. It's like our external environment directly influences our internal state of being. Lesson number 2. Quality over quantity changes everything. Here is where Japanese minimalism gets really interesting. Instead of having 10 cheap things that barely work, what if we had one beautiful thing that lasted for decades? This shift in thinking completely changes how we approach buying and owning things. The Japanese have this incredible attention to detail and craftsmanship that's been part of their culture for generations. They believe that if something is worth having, it's worth having the best version of it that you can afford. This doesn't mean being flashy or showing off. It means choosing things that are well made, beautiful in their simplicity, and built to last. Let's say you need a coffee mug. Instead of buying a set of 6 mismatched mugs from a discount store, you might invest in one handcrafted ceramic mug that feels perfect in your hands and brings you joy every morning. That one mug becomes a small daily ritual of beauty and mindfulness, rather than just another thing you grab without thinking. This approach actually saves money in the long run because we're not constantly replacing cheap items that break or wear out. But more importantly, it changes our relationship with the things we own. When we choose quality over quantity, each item in our home becomes something we truly appreciate rather than just another thing taking up space. Studies have found that people who focus on quality purchases report higher levels of satisfaction with their belongings and spend less overall on shopping. It's like the difference between eating one amazing piece of chocolate versus a whole bag of cheap candy. The single piece brings more joy and satisfaction. Lesson number 3. Finding beauty in simple everyday moments. Japanese minimalism isn't just about having fewer things. It's about developing the ability to find extraordinary beauty in ordinary moments. This is where the philosophy becomes truly life-changing, because it shifts our focus from always looking for the next big thing to appreciating what's right in front of us. Think about the Japanese tea ceremony, where every movement is deliberate and beautiful. They've taken something as simple as making tea and turned it into a meditation on presence and mindfulness. We can apply the same approach to any part of our daily routine. When we simplify our surroundings and slow down our pace of life, we start to notice things we never saw before. The way morning light hits our kitchen table, the sound of rain against the window, the feeling of clean sheets at the end of a long day. These moments were always there, but we were too busy and distracted to really experience them. This lesson teaches us that happiness doesn't come from big, expensive experiences or constant entertainment. It comes from developing the ability to be fully present in simple moments. A Japanese minimalist might spend 10 minutes quietly drinking their morning coffee and consider it one of the best parts of their day. The beautiful thing is that these moments are free and available to all of us every day. We just need to create the mental space to notice them. When our lives aren't cluttered with endless possessions and commitments, we naturally become more aware of the small beauties that surround us constantly.
Lesson 4. Every single thing should have a purpose. Here's a game changer. What if everything in your life had to earn its place by serving a real purpose? Japanese minimalism teaches us to be incredibly intentional about what we allow into our space and our lives. This doesn't mean everything has to be purely practical. Beauty and joy are purposes too. But it does mean that everything should add value in some way. That decorative bowl on your shelf should either be useful or bring you genuine happiness when you look at it. If it's just sitting there because you think you're supposed to have decorative bowls, then it's probably time to let it go. The Japanese have this concept called mono no aware, which roughly translates to understanding the impermanent nature of things. This helps them make decisions about what to keep and what to release. They understand that holding on to things just for the sake of having them actually diminishes the joy and purpose of the things that truly matter. When we apply this principle to our belongings, something magical happens. We stop being surrounded by things that drain our energy, and instead, we're surrounded only by things that serve us in meaningful ways. Our homes become more functional, more beautiful, and more peaceful all at the same time. This approach extends beyond just physical objects too. We can ask the same questions about our commitments, our relationships, and how we spend our time. Does this activity add value to our lives? Does this relationship bring out the best in us? These questions help us create lives that are as intentional as our living spaces. Lesson 5. Letting go leads to true freedom. Now, this might be the hardest lesson for many of us, but it's also potentially the most liberating. Japanese minimalism teaches us that our attachment to things often becomes a prison that we don't even realize we're living in. Think about how much time and energy we spend managing our possessions, cleaning them, organizing them, storing them, insuring them, worrying about them getting damaged or stolen. All of this mental and physical energy could be directed toward things that actually make our lives better, like spending time with people we love or pursuing our passions. The Japanese understand that when we hold on to things too tightly, whether they're objects, expectations, or even relationships, we create suffering for ourselves. This doesn't mean being careless or not caring about anything. It means holding things lightly, appreciating them while we have them, and being willing to let them go when the time comes. There's incredible freedom in realizing that we don't need most of the things we think we need. When we're not constantly worried about protecting and maintaining a bunch of stuff, we can be more spontaneous, more generous, and more present. We can move more easily, both physically and emotionally, because we're not weighed down by excessive attachments. Studies have shown that people who practice letting go of unnecessary possessions report feeling lighter, more confident, and more in control of their lives. It's like the physical act of decluttering creates space for emotional and mental clarity as well. The external simplicity supports internal peace. Lesson 6. Simplicity creates space for deep contentment. Finally, we come to what might be the most profound lesson of all. Japanese minimalism shows us that true contentment doesn't come from having everything we want, but from wanting what we have and finding deep satisfaction in simplicity, rather than complexity. In our culture, we're constantly told that we need more to be happy. More money, more stuff, more experiences, more everything. But Japanese minimalism flips this idea completely upside down. It suggests that contentment comes from appreciating what we already have and finding richness in simplicity rather than complexity. When we simplify our lives, we create space for deeper experiences. Instead of rushing from one activity to another, we can fully engage with what we're doing. Instead of being surrounded by hundreds of objects competing for our attention, we can really appreciate the few beautiful things we've chosen to keep. This approach to life reduces anxiety and increases satisfaction in ways that buying more things never could. Research has consistently shown that once our basic needs are met, additional possessions don't significantly increase happiness. But practices like gratitude, mindfulness, and intentional living do create lasting improvements in well-being. The Japanese concept of ikigai, or life purpose, is closely connected to this idea of finding contentment in simplicity. When we're not distracted by endless choices and possessions, we can more easily connect with what truly gives our lives meaning and direction. So there you have it. 6 life-changing lessons from Japanese minimalism that really can transform how you think about living. We've talked about creating space for what matters, choosing quality over quantity, finding beauty in simple moments, making sure everything has a purpose, learning to let go, and discovering contentment through simplicity. The beautiful thing about these lessons is that you don't have to completely overhaul your life overnight to start benefiting from them. You can begin today by simply choosing one small area of your home or one daily habit and applying these principles. Maybe start by clearing off your bedside table or spending 5 minutes each morning appreciating your coffee without checking your phone. What resonated most with you from today's video? Have you tried incorporating any minimalist principles into your life? We'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. And if this video helped you see things differently, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Remember, the goal isn't to live as little as possible, but to live with intention and appreciation for what truly adds value to your life. Thanks for spending time with us today, and we'll see you in the next video.